number 12 of season 14, and we are in Marrakesh. Akari on pole from Ravo and Pastor Maldonado. Bob starts fourth with his teammate Milrez alongside him. Then it's Leclerc, Tigranes, and Theodore Schumacher. Marcus Nelson starts ninth with UK ball alongside him. Yuki Suo 12, and it's the championship leader starting 12th. Innocuous is 13th, David Camino 14th, Daniel Baltasarov is 15th with Sanchez alongside. Babner starts 17th, MF1 World 18th, Salas Kynes is 19th, Leo 20th, Mahavir Griffin starts 21st on the hard tires, and then it's JD Venter in last. Well, with only a handful of races left to go, Akari on pole, and this time he seems to have a good strategy on his hands. All 5 lights go on, and we go green here in Marrakesh, and that's a very even start on the top two. We're getting a very good second phase of the start. He's on the soft tyres, and he does send it down the inside to take the lead of the Marrakesh E3. Bob up into 4th place. Maldonado starting off the hard tyres, staying with UK ball and Camino, and out of the race has gone Milrez, I believe. No, Milrez spun. Now out went Leo for Pinnacle from the E team, and involved in that seems to be Daniel Baltasarov, unfortunately. One of the Renaults, certainly, he seemed to have gone round, but just not quite. But we are under virtual safety car conditions now, no overtaking. And it seems like Kynes was involved. JD Venter could have been, he wasn't involved. Babner seems to have given him a little shove. Baltasarov was really up to the back of but we go back racing then. Ravo has taken the lead of the E3, and he's got Akari right behind him. But as we come through the final turn then, in this final sector, we usually see a handful of moves starting to the inside being made. Bob, he's actually gaining on Akari, but that's only because Leclerc is putting on pressure on that Renault car. So it is Revo from Akari, from Bob, from Leclerc, the top 4. Pastor Maldonado is trying to keep in touch with the top 4, but he's on the hard tyres. He'll be able to go very long into the race, because around here the tyres wear out way crazy quickly. Akari looks to the inside now, darting to the outside line. He's going to have to hold on to that outside line, and he's darting back to the inside. He could have made a switchback move. DRS is available now as they come through the first actual available DRS opportunity, and he's gonna have the inside line. And can he now take the lead? Ravo setting a fastest second sector of anyone, and he does hold on to the lead, does Ravo, the Italian number 7 car. And Bob now through on Akari. Renault Edams seem to have pulled off a monster of a setup today, because they're currently looking at a potential race leader. Bob setting a fast lap of the E3 at the 59.1. Leclerc now getting ahead of Akari. Maldonado drops a position there with Tigranes now threatening that Jaguar car. Akari back up into 3rd position. Bob with the inside line coming through this little uphill sweeping section of the track. Cards right out on the sand dunes here in Marrakesh. And he's just not close enough to think of sending it down the inside. We saw this with Akari, but he has the inside line, and Mexico lead! A fun lead, but a plus 2 E3! Bob leads the E3. He's got Ravo right behind him, however, and he does have DRS. Bob forced very deep through the chicane, and Akari now has got him back past Ravo, and out of the race has got Innocuous at that very same chicane we saw so many overtakes at. And that stopped Akari from making a pass. However, Pinnacle can still think of making that pass in the pit stops. So taking a look at Akari then, he comes in. He's switching onto the soft compound of tyres, which will probably see him into the pits in a handful of laps. He comes out now. And does Bob hold on to the lead? Yes, he does. Bob holding on to this provisional race lead. And a bigger gap has been formed. And they're going to come out in 11th and 14th. Not ideal for him. Milrez, however, he now leads the race with Pastor Maldonado right behind him. And those hard tyres, the teams must have thought they would have done a lot more laps than they actually are. Maldonado goes around, and the Swedish driver, and Maldonado takes the lead of the E3, but now Milrez will have DRS. It's going to be a very scrappy affair, but Milrez does take the lead of the E3 and almost into the wall. They both went. Nado making the swift back move, and Ocampo, sorry, I keep on doing this. It is Dav Sanchez in the wall, reversing out of there. Yellow flags flown in the third sector. Ravo with a 5-second time penalty, and airborne has gone. Sanchez is around, has just gone the number 72 car, and he needs to get his car out of there now, or else the kill switch will have to be flipped. He will still be able to keep going, but now Akari. This is going very well for Bob. Akari now, he's 4 seconds off the back of the Renault Edam's car. He's going to need to put in some real quick laps if he's to have a shot of winning this race, but I don't know if he can. And it's looking like another close but no cigar moment for Pinnacle Formula E team's team principal driver. But he's going to get past Mahavir Raghunathan coming through turn number 9. So that's going to allow him to close in just a little bit more. He always seems like he's got the class of the field. Ocampo closing in onto Granez here. So he might be able to get past down here, but there's a likelihood that they do come in. They do come into the pits. And out of the race has gone Mahavir Raghunathan. Oh, airborne goes Raghunathan! Theodore Schumacher also out of the E3! My goodness! That's a really scary incident for the Skoda driver. And we just hope he's okay. Because that was a massive wreck between the two cars. Virtual safety car ending, and it's going to be Camino from Bob, from Maldonado, Ocampo to Granez, and Akari. Akari needs to pit again. He's been outmaneuvered here. He's run out of real moves to play that don't involve just making raw overtakes, but he's 5 seconds off the back of the driver. He was fighting on pit exit earlier. But now, he's going to be lucky if he can even salvage a P3 out of this race. But it's not over until the checkered flag flies, as we've seen many times in this championship. Camino definitely seems to be struggling a little more uncomfortable with those tyres of his. Milrez currently in 8th place, and Marcus Nelson getting a track limits warning. Ina Bamness on the back of MF1 while his moves being made further forward in the field. They go side by side. That is Yuki Suo and Marcus Nelson. That is not Yuki Suo. That is Carlos Sainz rather. Camino has come into the pit, so it is Bob leading the way. Up ahead, that is Salas, as well as Leclerc and Yuki Suo fighting over P9. And he's getting real close to the back of that Working Toyota car. Bob sitting across his first sector. He's coming under. Little bit of threat for his position. UK ball drops to P8, P6 rather, and Milrez going up into P5. Pastor Maldonado, he's getting very close to the back of that Renault Edam's car. He's so close to the back, he's tantalizingly close, he's alongside, and he's gonna send it! And Maldonado takes the lead, and spinning there, that is Jaco Tigranez. He has lost part of his front wing. He's down at that airpin, but Pastor Maldonado now leads the way in this E3. And this is not going to be anyone's mistake until the race ends. Bob is in the pits now. Tigranez is in, and Ravo in, and Akari is also in pit lane. Yuki Suo's in the pits too. So out of the pits comes Ravo. And Baldessaro also in. They decided to pit Baldessaro first for whatever reason. This is probably just going to be a championship strategy, and I'm going to have to take a break really quickly. I'll be right back. So, still lap 8, still Maldonado leading, but now he's 1.4 seconds ahead of the car behind him. In this case, it is Sebastian Ocampo. UK ball currently 3rd ahead of Milrez there, and Leclerc under threat from Marcus Nelson. That threat not really being identified yet. Camino being also under threat, this time from Ina Babinas. No driver really going side by side, but it is Maldonado in the pits. And the sky does look to be getting a little bit grayer. Akari has dropped back quite a bit. He's down in 16th now, almost hit the wall. There's lap 2. And we are at half race distance. Half race distance is here. And Bogdasarov getting very close to the back of Dash Sanchez. He probably will come into the pits at the end of this lap if he doesn't. And he's going to be swamped on the straight, as you can see, getting close, getting alongside and getting past this Dash Sanchez. And it is Sebastian Ocampo, who currently has the class of the field leading the way. Almost having a little scuffle with the barriers. And it's UK Ball currently in 2nd place. Hines is 3rd, and JD Venter is gonna take that 3rd position away from him. Kynes almost forced into the barriers, and he's got Camino for company now. Oh, JD Venter currently up in 3rd position. Into the pits come the race leaders, and we're gonna see what tyres they're gonna go onto. It's mediums for Sebastian Ocampo, and it's off for one of the drivers further back. It is Yuki Suo in the barriers once more. Not the day for the Rodent Toyota driver. Track limits for Daniel Bontasarov right ahead of Dash Sanchez, and it's getting very glum out there. Ocampo's come out of the pits in P4, in fact, so he's got a very good shout at still winning this race, whether that be on pure pace or strategy. It's 8 laps to go here in Marrakesh. It's Camino from Bob, from Maldonado, from Ocampo. This being the race, as well season that really ruined Ocampo's shots of winning the championship back in season 13, but this isn't 13, it's 14, and he's gonna put some pressure on Pastor Maldonado here, who is pressuring Bob as well. So they come through the chicane, single file almost. So Campo, you should probably hold on to the inside line to get past Maldonado. And can he get past Bob as well? He's ahead, up into 2nd place, and as Camino pulls into the pits, it'll be Ocampo leading the way with 7 laps to go here in Marrakesh from Jaco Tigranes and Milrez. What a top 3 to see today. And Milrez still actually very close to the back of Tigranes here. He might actually try and stage an overtake. It would be very nice to see from the number 6 driver. That number 6 used to be won by this man, Ian Abamnus, who is having a very torrid time of it, trying to get past this down Bogdasarov, not quite ahead, and Maldonado actually in fact ahead of Sebastian Ocampo now. Oh, Maldonado, he's not going to have DRS coming down the straight. Ocampo's going to have it. He's going to be along the outside of that Jaguar car, and he takes the lead. Almost hits the wall. Oh, Maldonado giving it absolutely everything. Well done on Oliver Berman for winning the sprint race in Monza. And it's getting very glum out there. I thought I saw a spot of rain. Luckily for him, not quite. Revo up into 5th place, but with that 5-second time penalty, he also dives into the pit lane. And it's all very close between everyone. Looks like some team orders going on at Mercedes. UK Ball getting a track limits warning in 4th position, and there goes JDV into P7. And Ocampo out there leading the way. He's more than a DRS gap, but there's more than a DRS gap between Ocampo and Maldonado. That is just one word to say for Ocampo's day today. It's been absolutely brilliant. Akari, he currently in 6th position, and you just have to wonder where's all that speed from qualifying gone. He's been an amazing qualifier. He's had the most pole positions of any driver, and into the wall has gone Jaco Tigranes for the 2nd time today. And has that been an incident with UK Ball? I don't think so, but it could have been, for all we know. But he's going to be passed by many drivers. He's been passed by JDV. And can Akari take 4th position from Milrez? No, because he peels into the pits. And this happens every time. We've got 5 more laps in this E3. It is Ocampo from Maldonado, from UK Ball, from JDV. And then it's Carlos Kynes. Marcus Nelson on the back. Marcus Nelson, he's just not close enough. These two have raced alongside each other since season 6. He's been racing in the same championship for every season. Ina Barnes goes round Marcus Nelson there, up into 6th position almost. He's on the outside. It's very hard to make a move stick on the outside. So Nelson just using the short length of the track that comes with being on the inside line to defend his position. But now they're both going to have DRS going down the straight. On board with Iron Babness coming through the chicane. And out of the race has gone Marcus Nelson! What happened there? He went very deep into the turn. We've seen that before, but never to that extent. He went flying. He just went flying. I think he's okay. He's okay, thank God. He's okay. He looks a bit rattled though as we get back racing. It's Maldonado from Kynes for second behind, but Ocampo did not come into the pits during that VSC. He was past the start-finish straight, in fact, when the VSC came out. So he'd have to pit on this lap, and he could gain some, and he could lose the lead to Maldonado here and come into the clutches of David Camno. That's not what anyone wants to see if you're leading the race, specifically. Kynes nowhere near the back of David nowhere close to Camno or his teammate. And yes, Ocampo does come in very close to the barrier for Pastor Maldonado, even closer for Carlos Kynes. Bob on the back of Camino. And a lot of drivers trying to find their own train, their own niche to be a part of, and to try and overtake the cars ahead of them to get a higher position. 3 to go. And we've got yellows in that 3rd second. It's for Akari, we believe. Yes, Akari has lost his front wing. Iron Babinus also involved down there. And the pole sitters day has gone from great to bad to worse to absolutely awful. Sebastian Ocampo, though, he's 5 seconds off the back of the race leader, Pastor Maldonado. And the question is now, whose tires are going to last? I doubt Maldonado will make it to the end, but the question is, will Ocampo? Camno currently a second away from Sebastian Ocampo. And for that second position, he's just currently holding station with his teammate, making sure that Bob can't get past, but he's so close to the back of Cable. Is the number 11 from Mexico as they now barrel down towards the chicane and into the wall. Has gone David Camino. There goes that defensive idea. He went very aggressive into that chicane. So now Cable up into 3rd, Bob up into 4th, and Camino down to 5th, and he should come into the pits. He does peel into pit lane with Revo, but JD Venter staying out. Hasn't really made too many overtakes since then, but 3 seconds now the gap between the race leaders. Ocampo is catching Maldonado here with 10% fresher tires. 10% around this track is about a lap, maybe half a lap. So there is a very good chance that Ocampo will make it to the end, but less of a chance that Maldonado will, with 2 laps to go. Coming through the chicane with Pastor Maldonado looking behind. You can't really see this man, Sebastian Ocampo, anywhere near the gap. 2 seconds, since he's not going to have DRS until likely the last lap. The penultimate lap of this E3 then. Pastor Maldonado, he's been a sleeper winner in this championship, because when he doesn't win, he usually has a bit of an awful time out there. As now JD Venter up into 4th place, but it is currently Pastor Maldonado showing them how it's done out in front, leading this E3 here in Marrakesh. Bob Pitts for his 4th and final time in this E3. And for the drivers who look to be trying to win this race, it's gone. It's gone. And on the penultimate lap, Ocampo, he's 2.7 seconds off the back of Pastor Maldonado. 1.9, he could take it on the final lap if Maldonado has an absolute mare of this, his final sector going on to the final lap, coming through the chicane, just close enough to the barriers to where you can say it's just comfy. But it is still going to be Pastor Maldonado who will lead us to the final lap of the E3 from Sebastian Ocampo and Cable. It's going to be a top 3 to remember. It's been a race to remember. It's been absolutely insane with so many drivers in contention for the race win. Sebastian Ocampo, he's under a second away from Pastor Maldonado. He is gaining on that Jaguar car. He could get past on the final lap we are currently on. He could get past coming through the banking that rounds out the end of this Marrakesh Prix, but he is so close to the back. Could he even try and get past? He's gaining on him. 4/10 away is Sebastian Ocampo. Maldonado is going to be under threat. Ocampo will have DRS coming onto this last real opportunity to make a launch. He's gaining on Pastor Maldonado, and the championship leader does not try and make the overtake. Maldonado makes a massive mistake. Ocampo is going to have DRS, so coming through the final turn, it's going to be a dead heat between Pastor Maldonado and Sebastian Ocampo. And coming out of it, Ocampo on the low side, and Maldonado on the upside. It's a drag race to the finish, and Sebastian Ocampo wins the E3 with a 58-second fastest lap. Milres in the barriers. Maldonado behind by just 1/10 of a second. Bob with the fastest second sector of anyone. UK Ball comes home with a P3. But clap it up for Sebastian Ocampo. He sure knew how to make a finish there. Oh my goodness me, another yellow flag for Dav Sanchez. Fastest lap going to Bob at the end in last place. It's a 58.250. But that's a finish for the end of time. What a race from Sebastian Ocampo. What a race from the number 72 crew. And commiserations once again go out to Pinnacle Formula E team. Another close but no cigar moment for Akari. And this is the podium then. Sebastian Ocampo, he must be sweating buckets after that finish. He pulled every stop out to win this Marrakesh Prix. Pastor Maldonado is second with UK Ball and P3. Then it's JD Venter, Carlos Kynes, Milres, Einar Bavnes, and David Cameron over the top 8. Just outside of it, you have Bob, who secured the fastest lap on the last lap, and then it's Yuki Tsuo over the top 10. Just behind them, it's Jaco Tigranes, Rabo with that 5-second time penalty, Akari, Daniel Baltasar, Vladas Leclerc, and MF1 World, Dav Sanchez, your finishers. Your non-finishers were Marcus Nelson, Mahazir Gunnifin, Theodore Schumacher, and Okiri, and Leo on that first lap. In the drivers' standings, Sebastian Ocampo leads the way exactly 50 points ahead of JD Venter. Then it's Jaguar holding down a 3-4 with very close points. His totals. UK Ball is 5th with an Okiri right behind him. Then it's Marcus Nelson and Einar Bavnes the top 8. Right behind the top 8 you have Rabo in 9th from Akari and Lalo Leclerc. Then you've got Leo, who scored no points today unfortunately. There's MF1 World, Milres, Jaco Tigranes, and David Cameron. Bob is 17th on 29 points, then it's Theodore Schumacher on 27, Dav Sanchez on 20 points, 1 point ahead of Mahazir Gunnifin. Daniel Baltasar is 21st, with Yuki Tsuo in last place on 8 points. In the Constructors' Championship, going into our first race in Austin in a long time, DS Andretti lead the way on 176 points. From Mercedes Formula E team on 168, then it's Jaguar, Hyperdrive Racing, and Braun GP. Just behind them you have the Lamborghini Mako tied on points with Braun, then it's Pinnacle 3 points back. Red Bull Formula E team, Renault Edams, Skoda Volkswagen, and Raven Toyota. We'll see you guys next time then for the Austin E3.